Wilson Language Training welcomes you to this presentation of the International Dyslexia Association Structured Literacy InfoMap, Part 2, Structured Literacy in Action, Success for All Learners in a Multi-Tiered System of Supports. Do you recall the International Dyslexia Association's InfoMap and its key components from our last session? Now we'll explore how these principles translate into practical MTSS and structured literacy implementation, empowering you to bridge the gap between theory and practice and making a lasting impact on your students' reading success. Get ready to put theory into practice and unlock the power of structured literacy for all learners. Here at Wilson, we empower educators every step of the way and guide them to help their students. Our mission is to provide quality professional learning and support so that educators have the skills and tools they need to help their students become fluent, independent readers who are ready to explore the endless possibilities the world of reading has to offer. In this webinar, we will deepen understanding of structured literacy and its impact in today's classrooms, discover how MTSS and structured literacy work together to support all learners, and explore their roles in general and special education. Ready to make a difference? Join us and unlock the power of structured literacy. My name is Jennifer Bigos, and I am a literacy advisor at Wilson Language Training, a Wilson dyslexia therapist, and a former special education director for Broward County School District. We have a literacy crisis in the United States. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP, only 29% of our students are reading proficiently. Because reading is essential for success in school and life, it is critical that all students receive instruction based on sound evidence that is delivered in the most effective way. When we hear the term evidence-based instruction, it means using teaching methods that have been tested by research and shown to help most students learn better. According to the federal Every Student Succeeds Act, also known as ESSA, an evidence-based program is an activity, strategy, or intervention that shows a statistically significant effect on improving student outcomes. When we talk about reading, the evidence we use is based on the science of reading. The science of reading is a phrase representing the accumulated knowledge about reading, reading development, and best practices for reading instruction derived from rigorous scientific research. This interdisciplinary body of research is not a single theory or program, but a collection of evidence-based findings informing effective reading instruction. This knowledge helps us to understand how reading develops, to identify methods for effective reading instruction, particularly for early learners and those struggling, and to improve literacy outcomes through research-driven practices. This ever-evolving field is constantly expanding with new insights, as evidenced by the over 14,000 peer-reviewed articles published on reading in the past decade alone. The science of reading informs effective reading instruction, including curriculum development based on the science of reading principles, teacher training and professional learning focused on research-based strategies, and assessment tools aligned with scientific evidence. The science of reading assists with supporting struggling readers by helping educators to identify and address specific reading difficulties with targeted interventions and informing the provision of individualized instruction based on each child's needs and learning pace. Beyond theories, the science of reading is not static and continues to evolve with new research. It emphasizes evidence-based practices, but acknowledges the importance of considering individual student needs. By understanding the science of reading, we can equip educators with valuable insights to support effective literacy development in children. The science of reading forms the foundation of structured literacy, an approach to teaching reading and writing that has been proven effective for all students, including those with language based learning disabilities. Grounded in decades of research by experts in education, psychology, neuroscience, and social science, structured literacy is not a program, but it provides a comprehensive understanding of how people learn to read and write, enabling educators to implement effective instruction. Structured literacy applies the science of reading to classroom practice. This map from the International Dyslexia Association is a visual representation of the key components and critical points of structured literacy. At this time, if you have not already done so, you might want to pause this presentation and take some time to download the map so you can follow along. Focusing our direction to the top of the map, we find the who. Imagine a school where every student receives the exact support they need to thrive. That's the promise of the multi-tiered system of supports, also known as MTSS. MTSS is a framework that ensures all students have access to effective supports. In a multi-tiered system of support, we are all responsible for ensuring students receive literacy instruction grounded in the science of reading. By implementing structured literacy in the general education classroom from the very beginning, teachers can provide high quality instruction to prevent most reading challenges. Think of MTSS as a pyramid. This pyramid is inverted to show the importance of Tier 1 instruction for all students. Tier 1 universal supports represents the core instruction and supports provided to all students in the general education classroom. It includes effective practices, differentiated instruction, and positive classroom environments. Tier 2, targeted supports, is for students who need a little extra help. Tier 2 provides small group interventions in addition to Tier 1 instruction. This might involve targeted reading groups. Tier 3 intensive supports should be for a small percentage of students who may require individualized intensive support, including and beyond Tier 1 and Tier 2. While MTSS offers a strong foundation for supporting all learners, it's important to recognize that some students with disabilities may require additional specialized instruction within all tiers. The key to success is collaboration and data-driven decision-making. MTSS is most effective when implemented collaboratively across the entire school community, including teachers, administrators, special education professionals, parents, and other support staff. Regular data collection and analysis are crucial for monitoring student progress, adjusting interventions, and ensuring that all students receive the right level of support at the right time. This support is meant to supplement, not supplant, high quality Tier 1 core instruction. MTSS provides benefits such as improved academic outcomes for all students, including those with disabilities, more positive and inclusive environments, and stronger collaboration and communication among educators and support staff. Remember, MTSS is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a flexible framework that can be adapted to meet the unique needs of each school and student. It is important to keep in mind that instruction is tiered, not students. By providing a continuum of effective supports, MTSS can help every learner reach their full potential. And this means all students, including those with disabilities. Turning back to the InfoMap, the structured literacy wheel, located in the center of the map, is designed to help educators understand how the different components of structured literacy fit together in a multi-tiered system of support to ensure that all aspects of literacy are being addressed in their instruction. This graphic, extracted from the IDA InfoMap, is designed to emphasize the importance and integration of both the what and the how. The content, the what, appears on the inside of the wheel and aligns with the left side of the larger InfoMap. On the outer ring, we find the principles of instruction, the how. This aligns with the right side of the larger InfoMap. Structured literacy instruction seamlessly integrates foundational skills like word recognition, handwriting, and spelling with composition and comprehension from the very beginning. In Tier 1 classrooms, starting with kindergarten, students learn both reading and spelling simultaneously, mastering these essential building blocks through practice with connected text. This comprehensive approach covers all aspects of language, crucial for reading and writing, from decoding basics to understanding and constructing complex texts. By providing this integrated foundation in Tier 1, we empower students to become self-sufficient readers and writers, proactively reducing the need for additional support and preventing reading struggles. Let's look now at the how of the structured literacy InfoMap. The how refers to the essential principles of instruction that guide how content should be taught. These principles, along with what we teach, are critical, not only for students in need, but for all students. Let's take a closer look at some of these essential principles. Reading instruction must be explicit. This means that everything is clearly explained, key skills are modeled, and practice is purposeful and result-oriented. The 4 core practices of explicit instruction are modeling with clear explanations, verbalizing the thinking process, providing practice opportunities, and feedback. By providing explicit instruction from the start, we reduce the number of students who need to be provided supplemental and intensive supports. Systematic instruction means using a planned scope and sequence of skills and pacing in which prerequisite skills are taught and mastered before students move on to the next skill. This graphic shows a sample systematic scope and sequence from the Wilson Reading System 4th edition. In this scope and sequence, skills are gradually introduced, progressing from simple to more complex while building upon previously learned skills. Formative and summative assessment tools are key to determining if a student has mastered skills before moving on to the next skill. These are examples from some of the formative and summative assessments built into the Wilson Reading System 4th edition. Everything taught to your students, especially students with dyslexia, should be approached with a gradual release of responsibility. I do it, we do it, you do it. School leaders play a crucial role in fostering a culture of literacy. You are the driving force behind creating the conditions necessary for effective instruction. By selecting and supporting high-quality instruction, providing ongoing professional learning opportunities, and cultivating a supportive environment for teachers, school leaders empower their staff to implement impactful literacy practices. And when students struggle, effective intervention paired with effective implementation methods with the necessary conditions for optimal implementation leads to increased student literacy proficiency. MTSS supports a structured framework for identifying and supporting students with diverse learning needs. Structured literacy, grounded in the science of reading, equips students with the essential building blocks for effective reading and writing. In Tier 1, all students receive evidence-based instruction in foundational skills. Structured literacy elements are seamlessly integrated into the core curriculum, ensuring a strong foundation for all. MTSS relies on ongoing progress monitoring and data analysis. This allows educators to track student response to structured literacy instruction and interventions and adjust their approach as needed. By identifying what works and what doesn't, educators can ensure that every student receives the most effective support. MTSS and structured literacy thrive in a collaborative environment where educators, specialists, and families work together. Shared expertise, resource allocation, and ongoing support are essential for empowering both teachers and students to achieve success. MTSS and structured literacy are not just tools, they're a roadmap to a brighter future for all learners. By embracing this powerful duo, we can build classrooms where every child discovers the joy of reading and unlocks their full potential. Students cannot benefit from instruction that they don't receive. MTSS supports the implementation of high quality instruction and intervention, which includes targeting the appropriate student population, providing appropriate group size to match student needs, scheduling of full and complete lessons, including length, frequency, duration, and setting, following student progression based on mastery and documented by formative and summative assessments, and utilizing recommended training, certification, and professional credentials. Wilson has strategically designed a set of 3 programs that work together synergistically to ensure that all students become successful readers. Together, they cover the 3 tiers of instruction as followed. Tier 1, a K-3 general education program, Foundations. Tier 2 for K-3, Foundations provides intervention, or just words in grades 4 through 12. And Tier 3, the Wilson Reading System for grades 2 through 12. This visual shows a triangle, which is not inverted, as we saw in an earlier slide. However, the key point here is the same, that we ensure we have a solid foundation in Tier 1. We cannot intervene our way out of a weak Tier 1. Foundations was designed as a foundational skills program to be used with a literature-based language arts program that does not contain a comprehensive and systematic approach to phonics, word study, handwriting, and spelling. Foundations teaches accuracy of decoding, spelling, and handwriting in a carefully integrated and scaffolded sequence that is taught to a mastery level. Foundations is an established part of Wilson's multi-tiered system of support and is integral to a response to intervention model. As we just highlighted, Foundations fits into a Tier 1 setting. It is designed to be delivered to all students in the general education classroom for 30 minutes with the standard lesson. Students needing additional support also receive an intervention lesson. In addition to the standard lesson, students receive an additional 30 minutes of Foundations activities 3 to 5 times per week in small groups. This intervention lesson reinforces and extends Tier 1 instruction for students in need, typically the lowest 30th percentile or those at risk in phonemic awareness, phonics, or fluency. And for students in 2nd grade and older in need of intensive one-on-one or small group instruction, we offer the Wilson Reading System. Some students in grades 4 through 12 and even adults may need targeted reading intervention. In grades 4 through 12 in Tier 1, all students should have English language arts instruction. For those students identified as struggling readers because of word level deficits, Just Words is an appropriate Tier 2 intervention for small groups of up to 15 students. The Wilson Reading System is appropriate for students who need intensive instruction in Tier 3. The Wilson Reading System is for students in grades 2 through 12 and adults who have significant difficulty in word level decoding, automatic word recognition, fluency, and spelling, including students with dyslexia who require an intensive remedial program. It was originally published in the late 1980s and is now in its fourth edition. Whether you use Wilson or not, the principles and key components of instruction that we are discussing today should be included in an intensive reading intervention for a student with dyslexia. The goal for this instruction is that students independently read grade level texts, both narrative and informational, with ease and understanding. We have mentioned dyslexia several times in this presentation. Let's take a moment to discuss what dyslexia is and what students with dyslexia need to be proficient readers. Dyslexia, stated simply, is difficulty with words. Through the Definition Consensus Project, the International Dyslexia Association, the National Center for Learning Disabilities, and the National Institute of Child and Human Development collaborated to define dyslexia. This consensus was vital because it led to policy changes in many states. The definition states that dyslexia is a specific learning disability that is neurobiological in origin. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate and/or fluent word recognition and by poor spelling and decoding abilities. These difficulties typically result from a deficit in the phonological component of language that is often unexpected in relation to other cognitive abilities and the provision of effective classroom instruction. Secondary consequences may include problems in reading comprehension and reduced reading experience that can impede growth in vocabulary and background knowledge. Unfortunately, a child with a reading disability who is not identified early may require as many as 150 to 300 hours of intensive instruction if he is going to close the reading gap. And the longer identification and effective reading instruction is delayed, the longer the child will require to catch up. Specially designed instruction, or SDI, refers to individualized or small group instruction tailored to meet the specific needs of students with disabilities. It goes beyond core instruction offered to all students and aims to address unique learning challenges or gaps in skills. This instruction is designed to be effective, research-based, and aligned with the student's individualized education program. MTSS is a framework for providing differentiated instruction and support to all students. Specially designed instruction provides students with disabilities the specialized instruction and support they require to achieve academic success. This integration allows for a seamless flow of services, ensuring that students receive the right level of support at the right time. SDI is guided by ongoing progress monitoring and data analysis, ensuring instruction is tailored to individual needs and effectiveness is tracked. Educators, specialists, and families work together to design and implement SDI, creating a supportive learning environment. SDI addresses specific learning gaps and disabilities through targeted strategies and interventions. And SDI is directly linked to the student's IEP goals and objectives, ensuring alignment and coherence. Of course, all of this requires planning and purposeful decisions. As administrators, it is critical that we provide teachers with the support, time, and space to engage in this purposeful planning. Let's talk about some supports we can provide to ensure this can occur. Data-driven instruction in MTSS optimizes core instruction, ensures targeted support for struggling readers, and leads to better reading outcomes for all students. Collaboration fosters expertise, enhances problem solving, and builds a supportive culture, essential factors to student success. Structured literacy is a student centered approach that is essential for a school wide framework for all students within a multi tiered system of support. Student centered master scheduling supports MTSS. Inclusive scheduling is a team process to develop a school wide master schedule that includes support for students in inclusive classrooms and other general education settings. Consider creating a master schedule based upon student needs. When we use data and needed supports to drive our schedule, we maximize resources and increase student achievement because students are receiving the support that they need. The ability to read extends far beyond academic performance. Persistent reading failure can have lifelong negative consequences. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that all children receive instruction grounded in solid evidence of effectiveness. Thank you for tuning in today.